interesting.
I love your browser history.
I like that you're not hiding anything from me.
By the way, nice IP address. I like your neighborhood.
You are so special. This ad is just for you.
I learned so many things from you.
You are so generous.
With your personal data.
Switch on privacy, switch off trackers and viruses. Go to nordvpn.com. NordVPN. Safely be you.
Arsenal do it at the death. Wow, what a game. So much to break down. But Arsenal back in business. 3 big home games on the bounce, ending in defeat for Eddie Howe's Newcastle United. We have VAR controversy as well. But what a massive, a huge, a seismic win. It absolutely was gargantuan for that of Arsenal. They needed it. They thirst for it. They crave for it. And they are now within 2 points of Liverpool. They did not allow that woeful couple of weeks woeful couple of results against the bigger sides to damage them. They didn't allow the door being left ajar by Liverpool to pass them by. So much to go through and speak about today. Gabby and Moreno, as I see coming from the comments, absolutely massive in each and every single way. We're going to be breaking that down. We're going to be going through it with you guys live on the air. Wow, absolutely crazy. What an amazing and late comeback as well. Not if you're a Newcastle fan, of course, but my word, I couldn't believe it. I didn't expect it, to be fair. I didn't think Arsenal were going to do it. The game seemed to be fading a little bit, but they did. They got it done. Absolutely gargantuan. Do me a big favor before we go any further. Big shout out to our title sponsors, NordVPN. Of course, the link for them is in our description below. You can go and get that checked out now. You can also click on the QR code at the bottom, but you shouldn't be on the internet without protection. It's a bit like Nick Pope being in goal for you. It can be going swimmingly well, and then out of nowhere, someone robs you, because that's what Nick Pope did to Newcastle today. By the way, great game. I said this to the boys last night. We're talking about goalkeepers. This is the thing. The difference between a great keeper and a good keeper is those great guys. That mistake, throwing that ball the way he did, giving it away, absolutely crazy. It really, really was. And we're going to talk about Newcastle's mentality as well later on in this show. But a big shout out to NordVPN. You shouldn't be using the internet without protection. You shouldn't be using the internet without your personal data, your personal information being protected from hackers. So get signed up now. I'll give you 4 months free. Plus, if you want to get Premier League football legally, cheaply, including the 3 o'clock games, check out Satanta Sport. You can get signed up now from as little as $3.99 a month. And then when you have NordVPN, you just change your geolocation over to the Ukraine or Moldova. I often use Georgia as well, and you're able to use it. A huge selection of sports, including the Premier League. You've got the UFC, you've got tennis in there, whatever tickles your pickle. So get yourself signed up right now to NordVPN by scanning the QR code or clicking the link that is in the live chat. But where do we start? Well, look, we're going to have to start with Arsenal. Because we do. I'm going to put a timestamp in here just so everyone can come in and break the show up. So bear with me while I do it. Panel coming later in the show for us as well. But that was so important for Arsenal. Forget Liverpool for a minute. Forget Newcastle, their opponents. Forget all their rivals. I think Arsenal fans, these players, the manager, they needed something. They needed a remedy. The only thing that what would have made that better would have been Victor Gyökeres getting the winner, just for what that would give him in terms of confidence and growth. But Arsenal needed this in such a big way. They were kind of written off by a lot of people in the build-up to this game, people thinking they weren't going to do it. They haven't scored in the last 3 visits. They're too negative. They're cowards. And I called Mikel Arteta out last week, and I stand on it. And it's like he listened. Not to me. I'm not arrogant enough to think he listens to my YouTube channel. But he went out there today. And one of the first notes I wrote down today came at about 4 o'clock when I checked the starting 11. Eze starts. And it wasn't a negative approach from Arsenal today in any capacity. They were the better team in the first half, and the game was dwindling away, looking like a little bit of a smash and grab. We're going to talk about the VAR decision later because it's an absolute travesty, and it can't be forgotten just because Arsenal won. And I'll tell you why it's a travesty later. But Arsenal were the better team. The move that led to Trossard hitting the post was out of this world. Eze had two, if not three, maybe two, I think, shots wonderfully saved by Nick Pope. They were just a better team. They were outplaying Newcastle. They were caught out of a good set piece, good cross. Voldemada, wonderful header from him. Not a foul on Gabriel, by the way. I thought that was poor from him. He knew he was caught out of position. So when he felt the hands in the back, he went for it. Didn't get it. But Arsenal were leading. And Arsenal, again, with a better team in the second half. They were playing nice football. They were creating openings. And like I wrote this all down because I didn't want to forget. But there was the timber save from Pope, the interplay, and the dink ball from Zubimendi to set that up. Thought it would be a goal. Well saved again. There was then the Eze volley, the timber volley. Gyökeres put through on goal. A volley he had that was deflected. Gyökeres going clean through, and a great block by Dan Burn. It just looked like being one of those days where I wouldn't have been sitting here saying it was a negative approach from Arsenal. It was a bad approach from Arsenal. It just felt like one of those games where they just didn't have enough quality, and Newcastle defended like lions. And it needed something special. And up step Declan Rice, who I felt had quite a quiet game. The reason why players like Declan Rice are often not removed from the field of play is because they have a moment in them, a goal, whether it be a cross. The ball he whipped in, and it had to be perfect today because Newcastle were defending so brilliantly. It had to be perfect. It had to be pinpoint. And he whips that ball in, and there he is. Maybe the best fake number 9, right, in the league in Mikel Moreno. Gets his head on the ball, goes in at the back post, and you could feel something. Because Newcastle, I felt, had gone too negative. They went 5 at the back. They were taking off their attacking threat. Yes, they left Alanga on, but the approach was one of negativity. And I felt it invited Arsenal onto them. And the issue then is that the Newcastle players had the right mentality of trying to win. The problem is that you've got too many defensive-minded players on the football pitch. And it just left those openings. And it was a great move from Arsenal. Wonderful play. Odegaard, listen, he gets a lot of stick, and some of it is correct. But that pass from Odegaard today that put in Miles Lewis-Skelly, that was a reason they got the winning goal. The butterfly effect for that winning goal started at that point. Odegaard threads that ball through. The only mistake in that whole play is Lewis-Skelly should have squared it first time because Gyökeres or Martinelli would have tapped it in. The game would have been over. But panic set in. You could see it. Newcastle begun to panic. Oh my God, there's 4 minutes to go still, and we're hanging on. They get from the resulting corner, the ball's caught. I think it goes in, then goes out again. It comes in, goes out, comes back in. Nick Pope catches the ball. Slow the game. I know you can only do 8 seconds, but let Arsenal get out, relax a little bit. But Martin Odegaard's pass, it rattled them. They couldn't handle it. Goes for the long throw, looking for the counter-attack, which was stupid. Who does he think he is? Peter Schmeichel. If you're young, you won't get the reference. Great arm. Ball comes straight back, and it ends up going out for another corner. And I don't know about you, but I saw the goal coming. And once that ball was crossed, you saw Gabriel jump up. Nick Pope came out, and for the first time, and this is what I mean by being rattled, okay? This is what people talk about Terry. Why'd you go about so much about mentality and not quality in football? Because Nick Pope was fucking brilliant all that game. What done Nick Pope is what always does Nick Pope. He ain't got the mentality of a great goalkeeper. He's got the same ability as all the others, but he ain't got the mentality. And what did he do? When he should have stayed on his line, because that header was good, but a goalie on his line does this. Caught it. But he comes off his line, no man's land. Good night, Vienna. Bish, bash, bosh, 2-1 to Arsenal. And this is so big because I think it's going to make Arsenal believe in themselves more. It sends a message to the rest of the Premier League. They should send the message to their fans. And I am, if you're one of these gooners, I'm talking to you. If you're not one of these gooners, then join in with me. Stop throwing the towel in so early. I'm not going to lie. This goes to Newcastle as well today. I'm so fucking jealous of your clubs. I can't lie to you. I'm so jealous. It hurts me so much to watch you both play. But I don't allow that jealousy and pain to make me bitter. I can't live like that. I'm too old. I don't want to go grey. I don't want to lose any more hair. And I don't want a Connery, bruv. Do you know what I mean? I don't want an old Sean Connery. I don't want it. Again, if you don't watch Only Fools and Horses, you won't get the joke. But the point is that I'm jealous of you both. I really, really am. But the message but Arsenal fans, let me get back to my point. Stop throwing the towel in. Do you know how good your team is? Do you know what you could achieve with a little bit of positivity? I mean, I don't mean don't criticize when it goes wrong, but don't throw the towel in. Those away fans today, and by the way, they've got to address this in the Premier League. It's ridiculous that Newcastle have an exemption from having fans around the edge of the pitch from the away end. They say it's a safety precaution because the way their stadium is made, they can't segregate the away fans enough. There's not enough gaps. So, well, it means they should lose home fan coverage. If you have to create like a barrier, you know, in the Champions League, sometimes you see a number of seats they take out. That's for fan separation under UEFA. They should change the regulations because it's ridiculous that it's the only stadium in the Premier League where the away fans can't really make a noise. But Arsenal fans did today. They got behind their team. And the rest of you have got to do it. Every single one of you tonight. Do you know if you don't like Odegaard, go and praise him. If you don't like Rice, go and praise him. If you don't rate whoever, go and praise them tonight. Your team needs you. Your team needs you. It really, really does. But they should be very proud of themselves tonight, Arsenal. They really should, because they had some difficult results against Liverpool, that free kick. Last week against Man City. Again, the better team. They just couldn't get the goals early enough. But they fought in and they got in. They got their last-minute winner. And I'm going to keep the same energy that I did for Liverpool. I'm going to keep the same energy as I do for all top teams that score these late goals. It isn't about sustainability because everybody knows you can't do that every week. But what it demonstrates is an elite mentality, a mentality that says we will not give up. We will not say die. And anything is achievable in sport when you think and feel that way. Big shout out to the goal scorers. Absolutely brilliant. Listen, and you're going to get your banter as well with this, by the way. Set Piece FC. I've told you before, Set Piece FC is the 12th man for Arsenal. Any Arsenal fan crying about scoring from set pieces, I'll be honest with you. Do you really love your club? I need to ask you that question. Why would you care if you're good at scoring from set pieces? Ask for goals from open play, yes, but don't slag off something you're amazing at. It's ridiculous how good you are at them. And by the way, if it weren't for Nick Pope, let's have it right on today's game. If it weren't for Nick Pope, Arsenal would have scored 2 or 3 goals from open play today as well. So it wasn't as though it was a game where there was nothing from Arsenal from an open play perspective, if we're being absolutely honest there. But look, as I say, well done, Arsenal. Do me a favor and hit that like button, please. Get yourself subscribing to the Football Terrace. Get that done right now. Now, I'm going to go to your super chats in a minute, but I do want to address VAR because I would have spoken about this if Arsenal drew or lost. So I'm going to speak about VAR now because Arsenal fans, I implore you, Newcastle fans, I implore you to talk about this. So we all saw the incident, which was the penalty awarded in real time, then overturned. And their rationale was Nick Pope gets a slight touch on the ball. Now, I think a lot of us would sit there and go, oh, God, do you know what? I can get that tell. He got a slight touch. He got there first. The problem is this. And I want to make sure I'm very, very clear in my words. Drop your tribe. If you can't drop tribalism, I would say tune out now. This is a grown-up conversation. If you can't turn that off for a minute, hang on. Yeah, my kid. You can come play Barbies with the kids here. Like that's where your head's at. Do you know what I mean? You can play tea parties with my kids. Sounds a bit weird when I say it out loud. It sounded better in my head, but you get my point, right? I don't think it's a penalty. This is layered thinking. But the PGMOL told us that it is. And I'm going to show you what the PGMOL told us Have a little look.
Pedro, that touch on the ball that you're referencing, Michael, doesn't negate the possible award of a penalty. We've seen other examples of where the ball might touch a player, touch a defender. There's still heavy contact on the follow-through, and it's a penalty.
That was him speaking about the Saliba-João Pedro incident last year. And if you don't remember it, Saliba goes in to win the ball, gets the first touch, doesn't win possession of the ball. His head follows through and touches João Pedro. Penalty was given. We also saw last weekend Man United versus Chelsea. Mbeumo runs through on goal. As the ball is going past Sanchez, Sanchez gets a touch on the ball, follows through and kicks Mbeumo. But because Mbeumo is still going to end up with a goal-scoring opportunity, he's still going to end up in possession, it is still a foul. So this is my question to the PGMOL. Please don't debate whether you think one is a penalty or not. That is not... This is why I don't like a lot of the mainstream media, and there's a lot of other YouTube channels that will do this. The debate isn't, I think it's a foul. Oh, I don't think it's a foul. I think it should be a foul. I don't know what a foul is. That's not the debate. The debate is, don't argue over this foul. What we should be seeing now from the mainstream media is the Sanchez one shown, the João Pedro one shown, this one shown, what Howard Webb has said and gone, explain that to us and make it consistent. I don't think, it doesn't matter what I think actually about whether they're fouls or not. I don't care whether they're given or they're not given, as long as the decision is consistent. You can't give the one on Pedro. You can't give the one last week for Man United. It wasn't a penalty, actually. It was outside the box, but it was a foul. You can't give those and not this one. Yes, some will go, oh no, but he went round him. Some are going to say, but Mbeumo got the touch first, then the keeper. Of course, there's going to be slight nuance and difference in these. Okay? But fundamentally, the defensive player or the goalie in all three incidents touches the ball in their challenge. But we all know they're fouls based on what Howard Webb has said. I think we confuse these matters. It was easier back in my young days where if you got a touch, it was just considered no foul. And we all knew where we stood with that, didn't we? We all go, was no foul. Now, well, what about the follow through? What about the trailing leg? Was he still going to be in possession? Did he win possession? Would he have got onto the ball? We've overcomplicated these things. And again, what it leads to is massive, massive inconsistency at the highest level. Now, I implore Arsenal fans to still call this out, even though you won. The same as yesterday. Man United deserved to lose. No excuses. But I'm still calling out the PGMOL because Brentford should have gone down to 10 men. Their excuse was that Mbeumo didn't have control of the ball. He didn't have control of the ball last week either. But yeah, we've got to call it out. But the only reason that we'll never, ever get the refereeing in this country better is because of fans. Because we're too tribalistic and we always make it about our own clubs. Oh, you're saying I didn't deserve it? Oh, you're saying we wrote someone? No, you fucking amoeba. I'm talking about the referees being shit. Drop your tribalism. Get out of the fucking childish mindset of, no, I'm going to defend my club, even if you're not talking about my club. You know what I mean? Fucking drop it. And let's push back against these bellends that are hurting our game. Because they're killing it, bruv. Do I think it's a foul? Doesn't matter. They've told us it is a penalty. Got Howard Webb there on camera saying it. That slight touch doesn't negate the foul if there's a big follow-through contact. And there was. And we all know, listen, end of the day, right? Newcastle fans, I get why you'll defend it. But if you've got Waldemar running through there, you're all getting penned. Because you're saying, hang on a minute, without the contact, doesn't matter about that touch. There is going to be a shot at an open net. Yes, there's a slight angle, but come on, these are professional footballers. That is a clear goal scoring opportunity, I think, at any professional level of the game. So yes, there's a slight touch from the goalkeeper. I get why they've brought the rule in. There is a slight touch, but there's still going to be a shot. It's going to be, even after that touch, it's still going to be Gyökeres that goes through on goal. So they give it. Just my thoughts, just my feelings. Let me know yours. Let's jump into your super chats here, people, before we bring the panel out this evening. It's not about Terry. Even the pundits on TV said Arsenal's penalty. Yeah, but people will call me out because they think it's about defending Arsenal. They have no idea. I do have an agenda. It's my only one true agenda outside of getting rid of the Glazers. And that one true agenda is to push back and fight against the PGMOL. And I'll always do it. And I don't care who wins, who loses, who benefits, what team it's about. I'm going to push back. If you don't, I'm going to say it to you blunt. I don't care if you hate me for it. If you're not pushing back against the PGMOL, I'm saying you don't love football. That's my claim. You don't love football. Like feeding your kids sugar every day. I think you don't love your kids. I'm joking. I'm joking when I say that. Maybe. But anyway, I'm poisoning them. Do you know what I mean? Greg's for dinner every day. Oh, what you doing? I'm joking. I'm joking. That is a joke. I know my brother's watching. That's what he does. They don't. He doesn't. He doesn't sometimes. Stop it, bruv. Told ya. Give your kids diabetes. You know what I mean? 6-year-old wearing my 10-year-old's clothes is so big. No, I'm joking. It is all a joke, and none of it's real. Right. Some will be offended. That's all right. I've got fatties in my family, so I'm allowed to, innit? Is that the rules? When you've got one, you can do it, innit? Like, I'm a povo. I can take the piss out of povos. Brandon's backstage. Brandon's gay. He can take the mick out of the gay community. Do you know what I mean? It's them. You know what I mean? It's, hey! That's probably me cancelled now. I don't know. Don't care. Such a tough place to go for us. 3 great points. Listen, I think this is something that's going to be forgotten about a lot by people. Is hard place to go. I don't know if it is now because of them 2 goals, but best defense in the league as well from Newcastle. Hassan says Newcastle were robbed. Oh, he can come on the show. He's got the link. Next time someone says Arsenal versus low block, show them this match. Newcastle parked it in their own stadium, and Newcastle dominated them and won in the last minute. Super awesome. My team today, your team tomorrow, somebody else's team next week. I agree. This is why I call it out. Even when my team is, I've called stuff out when my team's benefited. So I'm very consistent with it. But that's probably why I get a lot of shit for it, because people don't like consistency in the YouTube world. Clear penalty in the end didn't matter. The foul will be brushed under the carpet because Arsenal won. The PGMOL would have gone into damage control if they didn't. Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm saying we've got to keep the energy up. Set piece merchant accusations incoming, but seriously surprised by how brave Arteta was with the attacking subs. Also got to learn about the EPL towel rules now. I can't believe they told him off for taking Nick Pope's towel. It's things like that. I just looked at it and thought, what are you doing, ref? Just play let it go, man. But anyway, you'll never get a refereeing consistency from week to week. It's no different in other leagues around the world. I bet you I'll make you guys a bet. I bet you my entire YouTube channels and my house. I'll make the PGMOL bet. Let me run it for a year. Put me in complete control. I bet you everything I own. I bet I can get it more consistent on an objective level. I guarantee you I can make it that way. Promise you. Short as eggs are eggs. You don't even need to pay me, and I'll bet everything I own. I bet I can make it more consistent. It's fucking not hard. It really isn't as hard as they make it out to be. I tell you. Gabriel handball was after the first touch. After first touch on his shin, has no one seen it? I mean, yeah, it's just not a penalty. It shouldn't be a penalty. His arm's also in a natural position when you're sliding in. It deflects off his leg. Though they be the rules. If it's gone straight and hit his arm, I don't like the rule. It's harsh. That would have been a penalty. But the fact it's taken a deflection first, no pen. VAR is shambolic. Gyökeres's pen should have stood. He touches it first, and the keeper's contact affected his opportunity to play in for a tap in. Exactly. Not even the ref could take this away from us, is what Finn says here. It doesn't matter if Pope got a touch. Gyökeres got the ball first. Had Pope not taken Gyökeres down, it would have gone around him and scored. Well, it would have at least gone around him and had the opportunity to tap into an open net, which makes it a denial of a clear goal-scoring opportunity, meaning it's a penalty and a red card. It just is by the letter of the law for me. We fully deserve the win. The eye test and the metrics back it. Arteta used the squad well. Proud of the boys. Gooners back our players and manager. No, I agree. This wasn't no set piece FC job. Arsenal were very good today. I'd like to see a Rice Odegaard as a midfield sometimes. When you play games at home, especially. Gyökeres worked very hard today. Good performance. Gabby will get the plaudits, rightfully so, after a shaky first half, but I thought Saliba was immense, so secure on the ball. Arteta won us the game 10 out of 10. I think something else Arteta did, which probably hasn't really been mentioned anywhere yet. He did something gargantuan. He took off Saka. Wasn't having a great game. Also, I still don't think fully match fit after everything that's gone on with his hamstrings. Big week of games ahead. He took him off. And one that shows the squad depth. But I think it's right to not be afraid to take off your talisman. And it works. It worked very, very well. Where's the difference? The difference of touching the ball with the penalty today and the Salah handball. Like what I will say is different. Okay, I'm going to defend that. Is the Salah one, the still shots looks like he's touching it with his hand. But as I said yesterday, right? Is this hand touching that bottle or not? Let me know when you think it's touching it. A still shot tells you everything. What we don't have is an angle that shows the ball move. The slow motion, you can see the ball touches Nick Pope's foot. You can see the ball deviate in direction. There is a difference there, my friend. Arsenal have played last season's top 6, barring Chelsea. It's true. Arsenal's start to the season was very hard. They've come through it very, very well. Gyökeres got the ball first and Pope's tackled him, then the ball. Penalty, right? Should be, according to Howard Webb. Where is the smug-faced Newcastle fan that's always yapping? Came to your house. He's backstage. Ash is backstage, ladies and gentlemen. He is backstage, along with Toon Tactics and Kane as well. We've got Brandon, Jason, Anton, Seb, and Shannon all backstage waiting to come on the show as well. Second most scored, least conceded, best goal difference, and 2 points off top in second after 6 games with United, Liverpool, and Newcastle away and City at home. Bad start, apparently. Well, this is the thing, and I know I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm on loan at Arsenal, as we all know, right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. That's a joke. That will get clipped up by the amoebas. But that's why I've been angry at Arsenal fans for so many for throwing the towel in so early. Part of me feels like shaking you all. You're pathetic. Back your team. I mean, listen, my team's so bad. It's like, what are you guys doing? You got such a good team. Why are you angry? I don't understand anymore. I've got nothing left. I have in my life. Life's great. Just my football team. The ref and VAR were awful, but we showed mentality. You did. The PGMOO is a disgrace. Also, Moreno is not a DM. To all the Arsenal haters, cry some more. Yeah, the amount of rivals of Arsenal that were in my group chats during the game, which most of it I ignore. And then as soon as those goals went in, it was just like, it's gone. Big up, Gabby. Amazing. I love him. Rivals will be whining about the refereeing decisions, but cricket's when it goes against us. This is what football is about. Come on, you gooners. Man of the match performance from Declan Rice. Mascara mistake aside, I actually think he was a little harshly taken off. I know he made that mistake, but I didn't think he played badly. Arsenal was superb, dug in and pride our way to a W. I didn't pride your way there. Okay, I get it. Teta, good subs. Pope had an amazing match. Yeah, it was fantastic, really, barring that last 5 minutes where his head went. Justice done is what Boomer Gooner says here. This is why I talk about mentality. Arsenal are not a weak team mentally. They go to get a win somehow. If that was United, we collapse and lose. True. Subs again. Give Arteta some credit. Hey, I guess we can also do a Liverpool. Come on, you gooners. Thank you, Luke Skywalker. Exactly. Let's get the likes up, please, people. Nearly 2,000 likes, but we've got about 8,600 people watching. A big up to the That's Football community that is here with us as well. But get those like buttons hit. Let's get this past 2,500 at least. Actually, no. Let's get this to 3,000 likes, please, people. Let's get it done. Because we've got the panel coming soon. I can't wait for that. It's one of my favorite times of the week, especially when my team are not involved. It's marvelous. I play this game versus Newcastle called Watch This Foul, where an opponent player handles the ball and you watch Newcastle practice their inner karate kits and judo holds. Do you know what I did think was interesting today was this? I don't think this was exclusively in every direction, but for instance, every now and then there's a little nudge and a foul was given. And then I saw someone grab Gabriel by the face and grab Gyökeres by the face and drag him to the floor. Nothing's given. I don't. It's not even about in one way or another. It's what are these referees looking at? The PGMOL have pockets soaked with oil. Now Newcastle had some things go against them as well, to be fair, but maybe not in this fixture. Knowing what happens every time we drop points, tomorrow's headlines, head coaches, CEOs, and presidents called me to say how we didn't deserve to lose. On Salah, HP, handball, don't they have the vibration thing in the balls? I don't think they have that in the Premier League. They should. We said it yesterday on the show. They should have that in the league, but they don't. They are actually the kind of games where you need to be good at set pieces, considering how much these towering figures at the back block everything. I absolutely agree with you. Gyökeres, no GA, but link-up play was good. Yeah, I thought he had a decent game. What they didn't do for Gyökeres, though, was what Newcastle did for Valdemar. Not one gilt-edged chance created. Like half chances and like shots that were getting blocked by defenders. Still got to find a way of putting him actually through on goal. Eze, very good today. Can see the difference in attacking side off compared to Odegaard. Eze, man of the match for me. Listen, Odegaard come on, did well as well, by the way. But Eze was great. I love watching Eze play. I argued with Staffy in his stream about the blatant penalty, and he couldn't be told otherwise. That the ref got it exactly right. Well, the thing is this is what we're often arguing our own opinions against each other. I'm guilty of the same thing. The penalty thing shouldn't be about your or my opinion. It's what Howard Webb and the PGMOL have told us. So my thing wasn't, oh, that makes sense. Or I'll give you an example. When they sent Saliba off last year against Bournemouth, that was a precedent set. Everybody else that does something within that ballpark's got to be sent off, and then they don't. So I know once they come out and state why it's a red card, and I go, okay, forget my opinion now. That's what I mean. This is how you create consistency. Forget my opinion. Your opinion. It all becomes irrelevant if in this penalty today, if there's a slight the Pedro one where they come out and made a statement. Now they've said that a slight touch that doesn't win the ball back or take the ball away from an opponent. For instance, if Nick Pope's touch knocked the ball so far away it was going to run out for a throw, then no foul. Because Gyökeres wouldn't have got there. Because you've already said that, that little clip should be playing in the, not literally playing in the PGMOL, in the PGMOL, yes, in the PGMOL van, but they should have that set as their precedent. If I remember it vividly, how the fuck are the PGMOL and VAR referees not remembering what their bosses said? This is what I mean. It's why I could run it better. Because what I'll be saying to these guys, if you don't remember what I say, I'm sacking you all. And I'm going to leak all your stories to the media like David Coote that we've got on you. Epstein you up, mate. We'll secretly film your private life. And if you don't do as I say, we'll release it. Now, don't do that. Is that what Epstein did? I don't know what he did. Suicide, wasn't it? I don't know. I don't know the rules anymore. There's not even a list I heard anymore. I remember the other week they said there weren't a list. Then last night on the BBC, they said Elon Musk was on it. And I was, hang on. I'm so confused by it all. Anyway. Back to the PGMOL. It's crazy. It's give me, I bet you everything I own, PGMOL. Let me run it. Get rid of Howard Webb. I guarantee I get it more consistent within a year. Guarantee you. Short as eggs be eggs. There needs to be a league set up for the refs and VAR. Top 6 refs get the Tier A games at the end of the... They actually had that internally. The problem is they're all in the relegation zone. Joe Linton and Byrne were playing American football. Very physical players. I like it. Mikel went 2-1-7 at the end of the game. Haram ball. Where? He did very, very good mentality tonight. Very, very good indeed. Watch my own fans cry about how we won now just because they don't make YouTube money when Arsenal win. 80% of my fans put on a show for YouTube clicks. How dare you? How dare you speak about my colleagues like that? They're not my, well, they are, but look, some YouTubers definitely fake it. Definitely. I was watching some watch-alongs yesterday, United ones, Chelsea ones. Some people are like crawling around on the floor. I saw a Chelsea fan crawling around on the floor. And I thought to myself, and actually, this is what I thought. I didn't think it was fake. That's not true. I was like, who does that? I couldn't imagine doing it myself, but that's just me. I don't even know his name. Some Chelsea lad. I think he's American. Being said, though, Saeed's one was making me laugh so much. It was hilarious, man. It was hilarious. This attacking style reminds me of Fergie. Throw our maximum attackers in at the end, maximizes the chance of winning. Come on, you Gooners. Awful VAR decisions on the penalty. Gillett is a known Liverpool fan too and has officiated 4 of our 6 games. The whole thing just feels off at this point. Well, the thing is, if they created more consistency, there would be less people calling out conspiracy as well, to be honest with you. Continental ref starts with a fixed amount of points each game and get deductions for bad decisions and positive for good decisions. That's great. They should make it public, though. I agree with you 100% on that. That lob from Zubimendi to Timber, what a save by Pope. Oh, what a goal that would have been. What a goal that would have been. Right, it is time to bring out my panel now, my people. Do me a big favor if you haven't done it yet and get that like button here. Nearly 2,500 likes, which is amazing. Time to bring out the panel now to have their say. Loads to talk about and go through. Let me just remove this scoreboard off my screen. Who we got here, right? We'll bring out the victors first of all. I sound like I'm on the Hunger Games. Who we got first? Brandon is here. Seb is with us. Anton is in the house. We have Shannon. We have Jason. And now they can join me on Losers Row. We've got Toon Tactics. We've got Ash, and we've got Man Like Kane. Welcome back, everybody, to the show. Let me get my earphones on because otherwise I won't be able to hear you all. Congratulations to the winners. Commiserations to the losers. And lo and behold, as if it's crazy, Newcastle will actually blow Man United in the fucking league table, which is a madness because you are a better team than us. Let me be very clear about that. But Brandon, you were brave today. You were not cowards today. You smashed it today. What are you saying, bruv?
It's almost like representatives at Arsenal must watch the Football Terrace tell, because everything that I criticised on Wednesday after Port Vale, we put right today. I know you want to speak about the penalty incident, but I don't want to speak about.
We'll do the penalty later in the show. Let's do the game first.
Yeah, I was going to say I don't really want to speak about it too much because I think it'll be disrespectful to the performance that we showed.
Which one?
It was a lot better. I think it was a lot better today. I think it was a hell of a lot better today. I couldn't believe what I was watching in the first 10 minutes, especially putting the ball in the box first time. I'm not used to that. Arsenal under Mikel Arteta. Normally it's very, like I say, get to the byline, go sideways, go backwards. But I was watching our players put the ball in the box first time. I was watching us have shots on goal, actually testing the goalkeeper today. And by the way, for a positive standpoint for Newcastle, Nick Pope he reminded me of David De Gea. You remember when Arsenal, Man United, when David De Gea could save the Titanic that day and you ended up beating us 3-1? It was a bit like that today. I thought, oh no, we're not going to have another one of them moments where the goalkeeper just has an unreal game. But yeah, he was brilliant. I think we got what we deserved, to be honest with you, because I think we thoroughly deserved to win that game. The only disappointment in the first half was, and the harsh criticism, and this is where harsh criticism comes out, and it is very harsh for me to criticise and say this, but we probably should have been 2-0 up even before the penalty incident. You know, if you're being really harsh, Trossard has to score. Eze probably has to score one of his chances as well. But that's just being really harsh. But yeah, we fully deserve to win the game. I don't think anybody else can sit here and say any different. I still think
no, you didn't.
That we was by far the better team. We was by far the better team.
Ash, let me just jump to Ash. Why don't you think Arsenal deserve to win today, Ash?
Because they should have been down to 10 men. Gabriel fucking full-rommed buddy Nick Voltemada for no reason. Like, we can't just be like, that's okay. Like, hang
on. So should you guys not have been down to 10 men then? Should Nick Pope not have been sent off? Because for me, that's a clear penalty. It's a clear penalty.
How is it? The ball, if you actually rewatch the ball, where Gyökeres, where Pope gets the touch, the ball changes trajectory and starts going very slowly towards the corner flag. Gyökeres would have had to literally do a full U-turn to get to the flipping 6-point turn, bros an Arctic lorry to get to the flipping the ball. And then by that time, Tonali's already back in the goal, so it's not even an open net.
Okay, but according to PGMOL,
and then look, are we going to ignore this? Where Gabriel was out here with his arm flipping his arms all the way
Yeah,
out
but
here.
again,
Is that a natural position? Is that a natural position? No, it isn't.
No, but again, that's different. That's different because that has deflected off of Gabriel's leg on to Murphy and then hit his arm.
Still not seen an angle that's done that.
You should probably get some
You can analyze Arsenal's penalty, but not your own.
So you haven't seen the ball deflect off Gabriel's foot. You didn't see the replays on TV.
No. They're not being shown everywhere. Everywhere I'm looking, Sky Sports hasn't even bothered reposting.
It was on Sky Live.
No, I'm saying Sky Sports on their thing. They've not reposted that, but they've reposted obviously the Nick Pope one.
Yeah, but you saw it in the game, didn't you?
I honestly, when I watched
you in a toilet? You in a toilet? You got a toilet? Did you? You got a toilet then?
I mean, from a penalties perspective, right? This is how I feel about penalties, right? The whole point of VAR is it's brought in if there's a clear and obvious error, right? I don't think that there's a clear and obvious error made by the referee in terms of Arsenal's penalty. I think looking at that in real time, everybody can see that's a penalty. It's a penalty. It's a penalty all day long. He takes him out. He wipes the player out. And this whole handball thing, I mean, it's not a I don't understand, like, people these days with the rulings like any handball is inside the area is classed as a penalty these days, and I don't understand. Like, have people not played the game before? That is a natural position for your arm to be in when you're going in for a sliding tackle. Like, come on, guys.
I disagree on that. I think an arm straight up the way that was isn't. If he's like a bent arm like this, yeah, that seems more of a natural. But like something out here like this is unnaturally making himself unnaturally larger.
But can we agree that the better team won today? Because in my opinion, we were far the better team.
No, I agree, 100%. No, but this is where it's frustrating me, is because you guys 100% play better than us. Like, and that's not a fact. But I think we can't just sit here and be like, Gabriel did not have his arm out. We can't just ignore the fact Gabriel decided to run up to Nick Voltemade and flipping forearm him in the face, and not to mention Saliba fully flipping injured. Tino Livramento got no repercussions, didn't go for the ball, and now Tino's flipping gone off with a potentially season injury.
Can I ask a question?
Hang on. There's so many
guys. Let me just jump in for a second. I want to say to you very quickly, Ash, what about all of the stuff? I mean, it was only a minute or two after one of your players made a challenge like that at the halfway line on an Arsenal player where he's half in the air and you nudged him. That's just something football players do to each other, isn't it? Sure.
What about Lascelles grabbing hold of Gyökeres's face and dragging him to the floor? What about all that?
Brandon. The
thing is, hang on. We're talking about controversial decisions here, right? What about 2 seasons ago when that ball, right?
The Bruno one.
Some would say did or didn't go out. That's a controversial decision. There always seems to be controversial decisions in a Newcastle Arsenal game, right? And a lot of the time it goes against us. This time today, it's gone against you. Just hold it. Who's the better team? We deserve to win the game.
What controversial decision?
Well, this is it. I can't work that out again because apparently
I want to get back to VAR in a minute. Like, we'll come back to that.
Yeah, we're getting severely off topic.
I get it, because the Newcastle fans are fuming, and I get why they're angry, because I would be as well. Your team loses the match. Seb, what did you make of Arsenal's performance today? Because there's been so much talk of cowardly behaviour, that the team can't attack, the team can't create, you won't win any big games away from home. How impressed were you, Seb, with just your authority in the match?
I thought it was absolutely fantastic. I came on here after the last game and I was defending Mikel Arteta. I got pelters. Obviously, he played the wrong midfield. He changed up today. He put the right team out. And this is a ground where we notoriously struggle at, especially since Newcastle have got their oil money. So the fact that we pushed on and we were aggressive, Mikel Arteta making some superb substitutions as well. So I don't want any criticism from Mikel Arteta today. He won us the game. He's taken off. So I thought we were absolutely fantastic. We should have been 2-3 goals up in that first half. The only reason we weren't is because of Nick Pope. So we outclassed them. We deserved to win that game. Justice was served with the late goals going in. Gabriel, my centre-back, what a G. He scores again, and it was absolutely fantastic. I have such a sore throat, I'm ill, but I had to sing. It was absolutely glorious. I love it. I love beating them because their fans are insufferable sometimes. They come here, they're cheering, going, "Oh, you cheats," and it's just like, yeah, we beat you. So yeah, just I love the saltiness. Carry on. I love it. Keep going. Inject it into my veins, quite frankly, because we were fantastic. We deserved to win that. And yeah, the amount of injustices we've had at Newcastle, we bloody deserve this today. I don't want to hear anything.
I hear that.
Oh, just real quick as well.
Go on.
I was talking about criticism in the first half. Gabriel's got to do better on the goal. He can't be throwing himself to the floor like that. Come on, mate. You're a big guy. You don't.
I think with that, right? He shouldn't have thrown himself to the floor, but he was just caught out. Even if he jumped, that was going to go over his head. But no, I do hear you on that. Toon Tactics. I want to ask you. You can tell me about Newcastle, but do you feel that you maybe became a little too negative towards the end of the game? Too many defenders, not enough attackers, sitting back too deep. Do you think Eddie Howe got it wrong today?
It's a good question. I think we gave Arsenal a little bit too much initiative. That kind of happens when you do a 5-3-2. It works. It's worked for us mainly last season a little bit, but I think we were better off to start off with a 4-3-3, go man to man with them, because they really don't like it when you kind of are more kind of in their faces. I think if we did that for the first 50, 60 minutes or so, and then fall back into a 5-3-2, it would have. I think we might have seen a different game. So yeah, I agree that I think we gave them a little bit too much initiative. So had we been a bit more up front, a bit more front-footed, I don't think the game would have went that way.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from. What do you feel in terms of result? Do you think it was a fair result? Are you frustrated? How are you feeling about it? Like your actual, like emotional wise as a fan, how are you feeling towards it?
Yeah, disappointed. I thought it's interesting that the game had 3 headers, 2 obviously from Arsenal, 1 from ourselves, and both sides are massive, obviously in terms of height, physicality, and everything else. Fair play to Arsenal. I feel like they took their moments. We had a couple half moments, but we didn't take advantage of. I think one from Joe Linton hitting the ball across the line. I thought somebody could have jumped in there. I thought Arsenal were there to kind of had a lot of initiative to take their moments, which we didn't. I think all in all, if you look at especially the metrics around chances and everything else, if I was Arsenal or if Newcastle had the chances that Arsenal created, I would have been saying, yeah, I think Newcastle deserved to win the game. And so I thought the same thing about Arsenal. I think they deserve to win the game. But I kind of push against the whole thing of we outclassed them, we were at levels about them. I think you're having a bit of a therapy session and cathartic release over all those years of losing. But I do think you were the better team overall.
I hear you on that one there. Imagine being below the shittest United team. Yeah. I'll be honest with you, on a real level, as a United fan, I take no real pleasure out of that because Newcastle are going to be okay. They are. I can tell by the way they play. Any idiot who thinks Odegaard is the problem in our attack needs to look themselves in the mirror. Came on and changed the game.
Sorry, just real quick on that, right? Because I'm going to push back on that because I'm one of these people who says about Odegaard being a problem in our attack. Notice where Odegaard was conducting the game from. He was conducting the game from deeper. Now, I've said for a long time that Odegaard needs to play in the 8 role, not the 10 role, because I think he can conduct the game a lot better from that sort of position. Look how he was conducting the midfield when he came on. Yeah, a lot better.
We don't play with 10s. We don't play with 10s. For the last
I was going to say that. We don't actually have a 10 role at Arsenal.
We don't play with 10, so I don't know what you're talking about, Brendan. At this point, big up to Odegaard, and I completely disagree with you. I think the way you view football is this guy is a 10 and he's playing as an 8, but he's always been playing as an 8. Yeah, but people have misconstrued him because he's been compared to all these other players because he had a season where he scored 15 goals. Just because he scored 15 goals one season doesn't mean he's a 10. He can play multiple positions.
No.
Yeah,
well, I think you're missing. I think you're missing the point anyway. But when Odegaard came on the pitch, he was drifting across the pitch. He wasn't just predominantly out on the right like he normally is. You know, linking up with Saka. He was drifting across. He was doing what you know, he should be doing in that deeper. Well,
Brendan,
I think he
that
needs
has
to be played
nothing to
deeper.
do with his position. That has to do with where he's staying in the pitch. I think during games when he's being asked to play as a left 8, he doesn't leave that section of the pitch. Where in this game, late in the game, Arteta's clearly given all the players much more freedom to drift wherever they need to go, and we've seen it in the last game with Eze being able to drift wherever he wants to go. So I don't want to argue with you. We just won, but I think I just view the game as completely different from how you view it. It's not a positional thing. It's about where he likes the player to stay on the pitch. Same with Mikel Moreno. For Spain, he's allowed to go wherever the hell he wants. For Arsenal, he's only allowed to drift in the right-hand flank. And that's where late in the game everything changes. Everyone's given much more freedom, and you see what they're capable of, and you see them play much more free. You see them play much more open and all over and they're always popping up all over the place late in the game. But yeah, going back to the beginning, I just want to say, Newcastle, you guys give us the toughest game away from home every single season. Forget about Man City, forget about Liverpool, forget about anybody else. Honestly, you guys are the toughest ground to go to in the league. And that is every single year. You are a bogey team. We struggle to beat you. The last 2-3 times we went to your ground, it was a dogfight. This year, it was a dogfight. And for God's sakes, we got over the line. It's been a hurdle that Mikel Arteta has had to get over. Eddie Howe's Newcastle, even the previous form of Newcastle, we struggle to when we come to your ground. And right now, I am so happy. It's not because we just beat you. It's because I know we've ticked off another one of the toughest grounds in the league, and we've just picked up 3 points at a ground where we haven't been able to pick up 3 points the last couple of years. The mentality from the team and the players and the manager, you can see every single person was pushing for that winner. 8 minutes left, the board didn't even go up. Arteta told the players that there's 8 minutes left. That's how focused everyone was to try to get the goal. And you know what? I'm not going to put anything down about you guys. The game wasn't about you guys today. I feel like the referee made the game about himself at certain points, and it balanced out at the end with the call that we got because they ended up staying consistent. If they would have given you guys the penalty late in the game, it wouldn't have been consistent because I thought it was a penalty, and I thought, you know what, it is a handball, but at the end of the day, both things balance out, and neither of us got any controversial calls because they balanced out, in my opinion. So I'm not going to complain about referees. Let's move on to the main thing. Big up to Mikel Moreno for coming on, making a difference. Big up to the bench. And when we play like we did in that first half, even though we didn't score a goal, we look like one of the best teams in the league. That was the best game we played the whole season. And if we would have lost, or even if we would have drawn, I would have still came here and said that was the best game we played because we looked so much better attacking wise. Trossard, I'm gutted for him that he hit the bar and he didn't score a goal. Gyökeres, this is the most service Gyökeres ever got, and he did not finish off his dinner, but the goals are going to come. I'm confident about that. Bukayo Saka came off the pitch. Mikel Moreno came off the pitch. It didn't matter. I mean, Mascara came off the pitch. It didn't matter. The squad depth is going to get us through this season, and we're going to go on, and we're going to show everybody we're here. We're here. We're not going nowhere. Liverpool dropped points. We're here to capitalize. And this is the first time I can say that in a long time. Chelsea dropped points. Everyone dropped points. Thank God Arsenal won. And hey, to all those people saying we don't go for the win, we don't have the mentality. Did you see the mentality today? I don't want to hear these silly semantic criticisms every single game. And I'm finally happy that, you know what, we can just sit back, relax, and know that my team did what we needed to get done this week. And to the Newcastle fans, commiserations, but we needed it more than you.
It don't matter. You still should have been down 10 men.
When
Gabriel, like I said, like obviously you missed it, forearm Nick Voltemada in the face. He ran up to him and did it.
Bro, come on.
Come on,
bro.
That's not even close. The referee was allowing you guys to physically abuse our players. You guys were constantly taking out our players. Do you
know what? Clotheslining's fine. No, clotheslining's fine. Don't worry, mate.
I seen Gyökeres get his face grabbed like this.
Listen, Jamal Lascelles was just showing him how to do his celebration properly.
Nah, get out of here, man. You're honestly at this point, you're being salty.
Nah, yeah, I am pissed because I'm flipping. Bro's got.
You got every call your way.
He's 15th. Of course he's pissed. He's fit. He's feeling strong at the minute. He's supporting most of the league. Do you know what I mean? He's feeling strong.
Hey, and you especially hold that, because I don't know about the other Newcastle fans on this panel. I know they've been
Listen, Egal, I don't want to see a tweet from you.
Single match reaction. You have come on every single match reaction to criticize Arsenal, to criticize the team, to criticize their attacking prowess, to criticize what they're capable of doing. And against your team of all teams, we throw the kitchen sink at it and we show you what we're capable of doing.
Egal, I want you to say sorry to me.
For what?
For your tweet But your tweet, they said Eddie Howe said that we couldn't beat Villa because it rained, and not a single drop of rain landed on the pitch on that day. I want to see. I want to hear an apology.
Eddie Howe has complained about the rain previously. Terry fact checked that.
No. You said even on your tweet that game we said we couldn't win because of the rain. It didn't have a single drop of rain that game. It was 23 degrees and sunny.
Listen, you know what happens when somebody doesn't have. You know when somebody has nothing to say. You know when Terry. You know when somebody has nothing to say, they try to win a side argument. We're not. This is not what we're here to talk about. Stay on topic.
It's Eddie Howe has mentioned the rain before, though. That is a cast iron fact. Just putting it out there. You know he has. We did it on another stream. Shannon, I know you've got to shoot in a minute, mate. I just wanted to jump to you. Then I'm going to come to Kane and Anton. Jason, I'm going to come to you as well. Everyone's going to get a chance to speak. It's just the nature of the shows. But Shannon, what's going through your mind right now? Because I don't know about you. I was listening to Gary Neville when that goal went in, and sometimes he makes those weird noises. Like, this time it was very much like, as if this meant something more than just a win. How do you see that, bro?
Look, bro, it's only 6 games in, so I think it's not defining at all in terms of does this close the title race, does this mean anything? But what it does show is that there's a certain mentality that has been thrown at us that it's weird. It's like Arsenal are cowards, or we play defensively, or we negative in some ways. If anything, like if you look at this game, bro, Newcastle were the negative team, in my opinion. Yes, they had the opportunities in the counter-attack here and there, but Newcastle were the home team. I think we ended up with like 60-something% possession, 20 shots. I know people don't want to say we didn't dominate the game, but from all facets of the game, we dominated that game. And I think what was important for me was just getting the win, because Liverpool dropped points. I don't care. It's sweeter that we won it in this fashion. Eddie Nketiah scoring in the last minute yesterday, us getting a late winner. It's really poetic. But I think on the greater scheme, I think it shows that we have a mentality which I think people doubted, and I'll still maintain this. People are saying Liverpool haven't kicked into gear. Neither have we. We aren't playing the most scintillating football, and we have arguably had the toughest start if you just look at fixtures. And I think to come out of these fixtures 2 points behind Liverpool, with obviously it's only game week 6, I'm quite happy, man. I know there's going to be a long title race with lots of up and downs. So for me personally, I'm glad we got the win. I'm glad we beat Newcastle, because they've been our bogey team, like Egal said. But also at the same time, hearing Newcastle fans complain about physicality is it's just crazy, because that's Newcastle style WWE. Joe Linton in the first minute of the game chops down Saka. That's how they started the game. So don't tell me about a little forearm to the face. That's the game you guys wanted. You lost the game you wanted to play. Hold that.
Listen, I hear where you're coming from when you say that. I think especially when people speak the physicality side of things, I just don't think Newcastle have got a leg to stand on when complaining. They're an amazingly physical team. I've seen Bruno Guimaraes elbow people, Joe Linton smack through people.
That's what he did it to,
and by the way, I don't bemoan it per se, especially when the little digs and the nudges, the super hard tackles, and the way that your fans love it. I mean, the reason you went down to 10 men against Liverpool was because I would say 90% of Newcastle fans and their dogs were asking for every Liverpool player to be smashed. That's the nature of the beast. A few super chats here. First one, this must be towards Ash. That says sensitive much. We played Manion. We'll come back to this super chat in a minute from Ahmed, because I want to ask Anton a question that's related. By the way, this year from Angad, thank you very, very much for such a brilliant donation. All the way from India. IDR is Indian rupees, right? I don't know. I think so. It says, of course, the PGMOL is biased. Robert Sanchez was red carded last week, but not Nick Pope. The rule is one for me and one for thee. Don't check VAR, just check the badge. Clearly from a Chelsea fan. And I can understand why Chelsea fans will look at that and feel aggrieved. I do. The best part of today was we took off Saka at 1-0 down and still won 2-1. Praise to Mikel for that bold substitution. Very, very important substitution as well. This is just lame starting position based on analysis. We don't play with 10s. Eze played exactly the 10 role today on the pitch. I saw Eze picking the ball up deep as Odegaard does. It does both. Jamie Redknapp on Sky says, I would say Liverpool have a very tough start. Also, they play Bournemouth at home. But Bournemouth are a good team at the moment. Like, we can't use Bournemouth's name. There we go. Oh, it's Indonesian. Okay, Indonesian. Sorry, thank you. Indonesia. Sorry, thank you.
Go back to that last super chat. Today, I felt like it was more of a double pivot with Zubamendi and Rice, where in the past, Rice is more of a left 8, and he drifts higher up the pitch usually. Today, he didn't do that. That's why Eze was more in the 10.
That makes sense. This here from Nate. He says, put Ash in the urn because he got cooked. Enjoy your week, Ash. Got cooked to ashes. Ashes to ashes. Dust to dust. Kane, my old pedigree chum, what did you make of Newcastle's performance today?
It was good up until the last bit. I thought it was, I kind of agree with Phil. I feel like Arsenal were the better team, but not to the extent that they seem to be making out. I think it was a close game, and that's why it was 1-0 to us up until the 80-odd minutes. So, but credit to Arsenal, they came back, they kept pushing through, and they got the goals that they got. I haven't really got any complaints about either of the goals. I think Nick Pope should have done better with the corner at the end, but. Listen, that they won 2-1. With regards to all the penalties and decisions of that, in real time, I thought Nick Pope, it wasn't a pen. Then I watched it back on when they did the VAR review, and then I thought it was a pen. So I was happy that it didn't get given. Whereas did he deserve a red? No, because that's double jeopardy, and because he's in the penalty box and. If you were to get the penalty, you get the penalty. You don't get the sending off, and I think the reason Sanchez got sent off is because he was outside the box. So it would have been a penalty and a yellow card. So there's that. As for the Gabriel handball, again, that's not a natural position for me. I think if it's hit, it didn't look like it hit his shin or whatever. But listen, in the same way that I was really VAR. And the Nick Pope decision around, it kind of goes both ways, and that's kind of what Egal said. So those two kind of equaled out. Again, with regards to physicality, I didn't realize there was that many pussies in the chat, because all I'm seeing is Newcastle are dirty, Newcastle are vile, whereas Arsenal gave it just as good, man. They did everything. Like you're saying, Gabriel. This wasn't not even during play. That was a blatant forearm to the face to Nick Voldemort after the goal. And I think Calafiori as well might have been a bit lucky with that sort of push pull on Dan Burn while he's in the air, throwing him to the ground like that. That could have been easily given as a second yellow, and that's him gone. So, I think Arsenal, they gave as good as they got. They got away with some. We got away with some. It was a close game, and Arsenal managed to pull it back in the end. So, I mean. You give them the kudos for the 2-1 win, but we move on. Disappointing to lost.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from. What do you make of your approach today from a Newcastle perspective? Because I mean, overall, they had 63% of the ball. They had 20 shots to your 8. It wasn't. I mean, I don't think you have anybody missing per se, do you, from your team? I mean, it wasn't a game like when Liverpool came to town. Like it looked like you went for them. Where today. Maybe it wasn't an approach. Maybe Arsenal were just so good. But I remember Liverpool came, you were the dominant side. You were attacking. You were, creating lots of openings, opportunities, chances. You didn't really do that today to Arsenal. And normally you do. Normally you have Arsenal pinned back. You counter in numbers. It seemed like you couldn't do that today.
A little bit. I think, some of those stats, 20 shots to 8, yeah, fine. But of those 20 shots, 7 of them are on target. Perry, you can take 20 million shots against me, and if only 7 of them are on target, I don't give 2 shits. So the 7 shots on target is what I care about. And I think some people need to remember that goalkeepers are also part of a football team, and Nick Pope had a great game. And so we can't just say, oh, well, Arsenal had 7 shots on target, and therefore Newcastle are lucky to get away with anything. No, Nick Pope had a great game, and like I said, moments towards the end is what cost it for us. I think Nick Voldemort had a great game today. I thought when we were playing the balls through to him, and he was getting to the ball, and he's making those neat little touches around the corner, bringing in those centre backs. And I feel like the wingers were a bit too far away from him. For me, I would have preferred us to play what we did in the second half, which was go to the sort of 3-4-3 and have Gordon and Jacob Murphy tucked closer towards Nick Voltemada, so that when those passes come in, we've got people who can play off Nick. And you saw that at the short times where Nick was able to get the ball, hold on to it. We were able to move up the pitch, and it was we were creating chances that way. But I mean, credit to Arsenal. I mean, they also have a really good defense. I think with regards to possession, I think the stats that the Sky Sports presenters were talking about before, I think in the first half, were in the 3 games that we beat Arsenal, we had 30-odd% possession in those games as well. So I'm not really bothered about the possession stats because that's not really how we play. And it almost, like I said, it was working almost again this today. It came down to a couple of moments. Arsenal kept pressing, kept pushing, and then they got their goals in the last minute. So credit to them.
I don't agree fully with what you said though, Kane. Like I do think Eddie Howe did make a mistake.
Which one?
I think it was his starting lineup with having Jacob Murphy started instead of Elanga. I thought Elanga would have been better to come up against Calafiori and Trossard down that side. I think his pace, especially if we're plan on doing counter-attacking football, I think he would have potentially provided something better in the early, then bring on the likes of Jacob Murphy later. But I've always been a big advocate of Jacob Murphy myself. I think he's absolutely an amazing player. He's done amazing under Eddie Howe. But I do think that Elanga in this sort of game where, like during the week, what Calafiori's done quite a lot is being pushed in towards the midfield, so he ends up leaving space behind there, which I think Elanga would have been able to use that perfectly. But yeah,
but Jacob Murphy's not exactly slow, and you saw even in that second half, I think there was a chance where Jacob Murphy just blew right past the defense and was through on goal. And if it wasn't for one player, if it wasn't for Declan Rice, who made that amazing run back, then we would have scored another goal. So, like, again, Jacob Murphy isn't a terrible player, and you could argue about whether or not we play one or t'other, but it's horses for course. I think Jacob Murphy still played well. I thought he's better on the ball than Anthony Elanga, and he was dangerous. I think again we play in a few days against Union Saint-Gilloise, so I'm sure Anthony Elanga will come in that game. So it's just about squad rotation. I mean, we can agree to disagree on that one, but
I just thought it was a little weird that we didn't start off with an actual left back.
Well, we kind of did what we did a couple of seasons ago, where we played a 4-3-3, but with Tino, who was Trippier back in that time, and Dan Burn left back, and all we do really is sort of play the sort of 3-4-3 that we do anyway, because Tino has license to go forward, and then Dan Burn, he just tucks in, and then we have a 3 at the back with sort of like a 3-5-2-1 kind of. I don't know how the maths works, but something along those lines where even though it's a 4-3-3 on paper, we're actually playing a 3-4-3 with Dan Burn just tucking in even at left back. But even then, I mean, Dan Burn didn't play terrible, and that was against Bukayo Saka, who, for all intents and purposes, didn't even have a great game.
No, he didn't. He certainly didn't. We're going to go to Anton, Jason, and Mo in a few moments. I want to do a few super chats here. This one came in a bit earlier from where has it gone? I can't find it now. Here it is. It says a continued refs start to fix matches. Start. Oh, sorry, we've done that one. We've done that one too. Was Calafiori's yellow deserved? I don't think so. Yeah, I thought that one's a little weak, to be fair, considering some of the other fouls. I thought Gyökeres was amazing, Terry. I thought he played well. I wouldn't use the word amazing, but I thought he played well. His hold-up play was good. He brought others in. That opportunity where they hit the post, the Trossard move, doesn't happen without good centre-forward play. So he did well there. Raya is as a sweeper in the Newcastle half. Crazy good. Amy White here says, my gaydar is bang on 99.9% of the time. Wouldn't have guessed Brandon was gay. Big up, Brandon. hey, good. By the way, nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. If you're offended, it's because you've got problems. We've we've had City Newcastle in low blocks at home. I mean, at their home. In fact, look, this is why I've been a little annoyed this week at Arsenal fans for throwing the towel in. You are such a good team that 2 of the other best teams in the league sit back deep against you. Like, you've got to read into that. Here for the Brandon hot take. Yeah, I didn't think he had too many today. He takes out the man, Crime or Ash, mind the gap. You are going to want that penalty if it happens to Newcastle. Would you agree with that, Toon Tactics? Would you say if that was the other way around, you'd be asking for that penalty, right?
No, I don't think it was a penalty.
Okay. We'll see later on in the season, I suppose. Newcastle fans complaining about the ref. Ironic. Remind the Newcastle fans the boxing match Bruno Guimaraes plays against Arsenal every time.
I don't understand these points because I'm like I stay very unbiased. I say like if this happens from our point of view, I would say it's a red card as well. If Bruno elbowing someone, I say that's a red card too.
Remember, the TFT community they remember everything you say. So
was Lascelles grabbing Gyökeres by the mouth? Is that also a red card?
They're like Mo's been here the longest, Mo and Jason, that they'll tell you that they remember everything you say. To the Newcastle fan, Lascelles grabbing Gyökeres by the face. Did you miss that? And you maybe should have told Nick Pope to not flap around for the winner, is what Ibi says here.
I also saw Gyökeres' arm in Lascelles. So again, the Arsenal players were just given it as much as Newcastle players. Don't cry, it's fine. They just get a bit physical.
None of us are crying though. Like it's Ash who started this whole thing up by talking about Gabriel and Voltomata, and so we're giving it back to you. Like Kane, you're absolutely spot on. You get what I'm saying?
But what I'm saying is if that's a red card, then so is Lascelles. But I'm saying then they both are. But I mean, granted, they are.
Then you'd be down to 9 men because Pope should have been sent off. So,
but he shouldn't have because as I've described,
that's why I don't like playing this referee game.
But it shouldn't.
It's taking away from the football.
No, but it isn't. I mean, what Kane described was exactly
true. If my
true.
grandmother had wheels, should be a bike. You know what I mean? This is why are Arsenal fans moaning and giving excuses about the ref and VAR? Oh, wait, it's Newcastle fans. So basically, everyone does it. This is true. 2 Newcastle fans who don't even look like they can play netball talking about natural positions. Come on, bro. I will say this. I wish I had the budget to do it because what I would do is get us all together with cameras tomorrow and then make you run on a football pitch and then you got to run and try and make a slide tackle on a block. Let's see what your arms... This is what I think about those things. We should do it as just we don't even need to do it ourselves. We should do this one day is watch things we say and we should sit down and watch football matches when the ball doesn't hit the arm. I wonder how many slide tackles and blocks arms do that, but we don't notice it because the ball don't hit it. That's the thing. Again, I don't know the answers to that question. I reckon it happens all the time. We just don't see it because the ball doesn't hit the arm. We only care when the ball hits the arm. Does that make sense? And if it's happening most slide tackles, wouldn't that just as a theoretically, wouldn't that make it a natural position if most defenders do it?
Yeah.
Just theoretically, like we have to do the experiment. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that brings back to the whole point of what ex-pros used to say about having an ex-pro potentially in the VAR room to give their opinion on stuff like this. I think,
or intelligent fans, not all fans, because some fans. We saw a fan the other day pull on someone's hair, or intelligent football fans. Like honestly, arms go up naturally when you slide in. Everyone arguing about that has never played football. Salty. This Newcastle guy is a piece of work. Long Arsenal live on their minds. Oh, you guys are getting it tonight. Joel Linton should have been carded for his foul on Saka. Yeah, he should have been carded in the first few minutes, to be fair.
Yeah.
I agree.
That second half was phenomenal. What a player. Do you know how is my indicator for Rice having a good game? Do you know when it is? It's when Don and Ches don't talk about him in the group chat. That's when I know he's playing well, when they're silent normally. Any idiot who thinks Odegaard is the problem in this attack. Sorry, we've done that super chat. Imagine being below. Done that one. Why does Trossard start? Martinelli is better, in my opinion. Look, I'm going to say this now. Yes, he's come on the bench in the last few games and looked good. Sometimes keep a player as a bench player. His speed and athleticism against tired legs gives you an advantage. I don't necessarily think that always needs to be rewarded with a starting berth.
I think Trossard's also better at low blocks anyway because he's more technical. So I would rather leave Martinelli on the bench for later in the game anyway.
Fazer here says Ashburton Guna. Says Guimaraes also had a handball, as per the announcers. Yeah, he kind of, it was by his side. He kind of turned again. I wouldn't be giving that because his arm is here. He's actually trying to get out the way, and it hits his arm. I just don't think they should be handballs ever.
Based on the law, the Guimaraes is more of a penalty than the Gabriel. Neither are penalty, but based on the law,
I don't like any of
people
them,
that don't want to say that, based on the law, if it
Yeah.
touches your foot, which is what they showed, and it then touches your arm, even if it's not in natural position, it's not a penalty. Even though I disagree, Gabriel's hand is not in natural position. But Bruno Guimaraes, his hand was out. It has been given as a penalty 50,000 times. Tarkovsky was punished earlier this season, and his hand was even closer to his body for a penalty earlier.
I hear that. I've got a few more super chats. We'll do them a bit later in the show. We haven't missed yours out. Anton, I want to ask you a question. Obviously, a very good win today. I think we broke the game down a lot today. How happy are you with the start of Arsenal's season overall? 6 games in, second, 12 points, big victory. Best, I think you've scored the most, conceded the least in the league so far. Overall, how good has your start been to the season?
Yeah, look, I just want to point out I know we've gone into like this whole Newcastle Arsenal, the nitty gritty parts of this game, but I want to look at the bigger picture here, which is there are our first 6 games, and people can say like, oh, you know, it's only 6 games in the season, it means nothing. Arsenal's first 6 games are away at Old Trafford, right? We had to go away to Anfield. We had City come here to the Emirates, and we went away to Newcastle, which has been one of the toughest away grounds that we've been to. And now we are only 2 points off the top. The schedule now is going to open up tremendously for Arsenal. We are going to not play a top 6 team until December, which we play Spurs, and then we play Chelsea twice in back-to-back weeks.
And November.
Up until
November.
No, it's December, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, November, I think.
I think it's early December, both of them.
Spurs, Bayern, and Chelsea, I think.
I think it's early December. I think it's the first week of December.
Okay. But yeah, go on. Carrying a point. Sorry.
Anyway, like, so now that Liverpool dropped points and Arsenal have now capitalized on that, I just got to say, I just want to compare the two team seasons to this point, right? So given that Arsenal had the hardest schedule so far, goal difference is +4. We've scored the same amount of goals, and yet we have played the toughest schedule. By the way, Liverpool in comparison have played the 12th toughest schedule in the Premier League. So for all my Arsenal fans who are complaining, and this is mainly the reason why I drive this point home, and we've gotten so lost in Arteta and the negative tactics and this and that, Arsenal are 2 points off the top with our hardest games of the season out of the way. Like, this is a tremendous opportunity now for Arsenal to go ahead and win this Premier League. And I know I'm saying after 6 games, and I'm not saying we're winning it. It's an opportunity to do so. Like, people are underestimating that. And I just felt like I just had to underline that, because in the bigger picture of the season, Arsenal are right about where you want them to be.
So you think overall you played better than Liverpool?
100%. First of all, we have a 5-0 against Leeds. We have a 3-0 against Forest. Liverpool have not won by more than a goal margin in any of the games. They played not even a probably complete 90 minutes in which they played well so far, and they've been playing on the edge throughout the whole season, and they finally got punished for it. Arsenal, like, the only times we've dropped points this season were against Liverpool and against Man City, the two toughest teams to play in all of the league. We don't have to play those games until the second half of the season in the reverse fixtures. Like, I think Arsenal have a trump. Like for instance, Terry said it yesterday, right? So Liverpool play Chelsea. All of a sudden, Chelsea take points off Liverpool. Arsenal's heading into the international break, top of the league, having played the hardest schedule. So I think. But yeah, I'm excited.
You're counting your chickens way too.
I'm not counting chickens. I'm counting the difficulty of our schedule.
Listen to you for about 3 minutes. Allow me just to expand on that. I think you are counting your chickens a little bit too early. Just like every other team, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, all of us, we've had massive changes. Players going in, players going out, system changes. I think Liverpool are tweaking their changes as well. I think it's way too early to say, well, Liverpool haven't beaten teams the way we've beaten the teams. I think if they haven't been playing as best as we could have played, as if like this is just a snapshot of the season after 6 games. And this is why you like, I'm not going to say everybody, but it's this kind of conversation that gets you Arsenal fans in trouble. Like when later on to the seasons, when you do with other fans and you get bantered for this kind of conversations, when they tell you, you said you're going to win, you said you're going to do this, this, and that. My advice, if my team was chasing the title, I'll just keep it cool. Liverpool fans do it the best. They underplay their team. It's you guys that always overhype it. It's 6 games gone.
No, you're wrong, actually. You're wrong. You're wrong because Liverpool fans said we're winning the league. Arsenal are not even a contender for us. Like I've had people on record. Most of I can name content creators out there that actually sat with me here on the terrace with Terry and said we actually think we're much better than Arsenal win the league this season. We're better than City. That's even after they won against Arsenal. They said that we're much better than Arsenal will win the league. So what you're saying is not true. I'm just saying it. I'm just putting this out there.
Yeah, but that's the trend. Like they feel like they've earned the right.
So you think they did that because Arsenal do it or because what?
No. They've done that because number one, they've already won the league. Number two, they've had a tremendous transfer window, so they're going on the back of that. All of this, they won the league. They are favorites for me. All of this, like for me, I said, but they do the same. They said they literally after the 3rd game when they played Arsenal, they said we are favorites. Arsenal not even going to. I'm not playing the game of you said it, therefore I don't say it. I'm saying
you just told the guy don't count your chickens, stay silent till the end of the season. Yeah. You literally just told them this. You literally just told them don't talk your talk until the end of the season. So
no, I didn't say the end of the season. No, but I didn't play that game. I'm saying if. From an Arsenal perspective, I said the first thing I said before you quoted me is if I was an Arsenal fan and I'm chasing the league, I wouldn't be talking like this straight away.
To be fair, this is sort of my style, right? And I was talking.
I'm here to say my. Let him finish. I want to hear what Philip says about the Arsenal.
So, because the opening was we just listened to a monologue about we've won 6 games better than Liverpool, therefore we're gonna go.
That's not what I said though.
That's okay. That's his analysis of how his team played in the first 6 games.
Yeah, and my analysis is that. So my analysis is look. The counter to that is it's more than just what happens on the field. It's when you create a narrative off the field and you start saying, we're going to be doing this, we're going to be doing that, when you haven't done it just yet. I'm not saying don't be.
You know what? I'd rather call my shot early. I'd rather be on something early than sit here and be negative for weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks, and then be like, oh yay, woo, we went like that's not my style.
Can I just say as well? What I thought I heard Anton say, and maybe I misheard it, Phil, is they've given themselves a great base to try and win the league from.
And he literally verbatim said, and I'm not saying we will win it, I'm saying we're verbatim.
For me, what I will say, and I can only talk about what was said on these shows, when that fixture list came out, Hussam as an example was one of many that actually said if they lose their opening game to Man United, Arsenal's entire season will collapse and fall apart. He said that to me and Mo. Multiple other people have said if Arsenal, a lot of the Arteta outers looked at these opening 6 games, and Jason, you're one of them. And I don't know exactly what your prediction was, but I remember hearing a lot of, we'll be lucky if we have 7 or 8 points coming out of these opening games from people that Arsenal fans that don't like him. So I think for Anton to say, we've played those 6 games, we've got 13 points, joint most goals scored, best defensive record, they're still betting players in. I think to say we've created a great base to try and win the league from, I think is a fairly accurate statement in the sense of they had a very hard start. And when Arsenal fans moaned about how hard their start was, everyone just said, shut up, shut up. We all know how important a good start to a season is if you want to win a league title. So I don't necessarily think, I do agree with you. Any Arsenal fan saying, I guarantee you after that win, we've won the league, we're winning it. I would agree with that. But I think it is a good base for them.
No, but I didn't say it isn't a good base. What I'm saying is that he's also tied in Liverpool into that. And he said, Liverpool aren't beating teams
because they're main title rivals.
Yeah,
they're main title rivals. I'm making a comparison.
And my follow-up point was that it's only 6 games in. There's been massive changes in players going out, players coming in for all the teams. And so you can't just base your analysis off of the first 6 games. I think that's a dangerous thing to do.
But I'm not doing that. I'm not basing my analysis based. No, you're not listening properly to what I'm saying.
You're not talking about the first.
I'm not basing my analysis on the first 6 games. In fact, on the other hand, I'm actually basing my analysis on the next 32 games, because Arsenal's first 6 games, as I've just already said, have had basically 4 of our toughest fixtures we're going to have all season out of the way. So when we start getting into that run-in, our matches are going to be a lot easier than Liverpool's matches. They just are. Because we've gotten our toughest ones, they're done now. That's what I'm saying. It's not basing off on our first 6 matches. I'm not like it's. I feel like I'm just repeating myself over and over again at this point. But
I think as well, like as a football fan, we've had a good start. Surely we should be behind our team and go, you know what? From this great start, we should be able to push on. I think just coming and sitting there going, we should be conservative. We should lay off. But like, we've just had a big victory against Newcastle, big for us. Liverpool have looked shaky in parts. I think we should look excited, especially because on this channel during pre-season, people were looking at Arsenal start and going, maybe Chelsea's going to be above them because Chelsea's had a relatively easy start. We've overcome our hard start. We've done really well. I think it's more than good enough for Arsenal fans to sit here and go, I'm fairly confident moving forward. It's part of football fan culture. Surely you should be happy and try and promote your team being better and be optimistic. Like, it's better than just sitting here being bored and being, this is wrong or this is wrong. Like, I think from my point of view, as an Arsenal fan, as a football fan, I'd rather be positive and look at the positives that we've had. And even when you look at Liverpool's underlying numbers and their metrics following on from last season into this season, they've not been great. Whereas we have been, because even if you're looking from a betting point of view, Arsenal's numbers have been consistent for the last 2 to 3 years, whereas Liverpool's hasn't. And so that's why I think, personally, Anton's completely correct. We should be looking at it positively. I wouldn't be cautious. Yeah. That's just the way I look at it.
My argument wasn't saying you should be sad and negative at all. I don't know why we're going to that conversation. I just think it's Anton's analysis on 6 games and then including Liverpool to say, well, Liverpool aren't beating teams the same way we are when there's so many.
It's not just that, though, but Liverpool are, as I said, we played the toughest schedule. Liverpool played the 12th toughest schedule. And so it's not just us versus them in isolated games. It's the degree of difficulty as well, which is taken into account.
What that difficulty is going to be is a variable to it. What if you have injuries? What if you have changes? What if your form goes off? Like, it's so early.
That's the other thing, though. We have already in the first 6 games have had all those things. Form has gone off.
I just gotta go out and say a couple of things before I head out. Nick, I just wanted to say something about this game. Liverpool played against Newcastle with 10 men, and Newcastle looked like the better team on the pitch. Today, Arsenal, from minute 1, looked like the better team against Newcastle, and Newcastle had the striker. It's nothing against Newcastle or anything, but I think that Arsenal controlled the game very well against Newcastle today. Nick Pope turned into a prime Buffon today for some whatever reason. He's a great goalkeeper, fantastic, saved a lot of saves that you normally don't bet on him to actually have these saves. I thought Mikel Arteta managed the game well. I think I agree with Nick here. They put themselves in a very good position actually to now go. It's in their hands. They still host Liverpool at the Emirates towards the end of the season. So I think Arsenal now have proven that they will win against the Menos. Okay, with all respect to Newcastle, I'm not saying the Menos. I'm saying apart from Liverpool and Man City, which is the title contenders, if they win their games, they don't have to worry about Liverpool. Because Liverpool currently are not playing the best. That is my take on this game, to be honest. That Arsenal put themselves, I agree with Nick 100%.
What happened when Liverpool and Arsenal played against
Anton?
Nick.
Anton.
I'm sorry.
Nick's a better name, actually. I think you
I might change my name to Nick now legally. You know,
I gotta head out, guys. Thank you so much for having me on, guys.
No worries. Cheers. No, thank you very much. Jason, I want to come to you. I know you've been waiting there patiently. Obviously, I know you're someone who's been very critical of Mikel Arteta, but you always show up, win, lose, or draw. Is today more what you want to see going forward?
Bro, I say, you know what? Yeah, you know when I screamed in the 96th minute. Yeah, this is the best telling off I've ever had from my mum. I'm telling you, the best telling off from my mum. I swear. I know she doesn't watch football or anything like that, but bro, that's worth it. But yeah, I mean, to be honest, like before that minute from minute 1 to Voldemort's goal, I think we played really well, to be honest, with Eze pulling the strings in midfield. And then after that, I feel like after the goal, Newcastle goal, and after the 1-0 from Newcastle, and then I think it was like the VAR check. I thought we just kind of like lost our minds. Then I thought to myself, is it going to be another thing like a VAR disaster and a 1-0 loss? Like, that's typical from last season. Like, are we not going to learn our mistakes? But then again, we grinded. It's one of those things where as soon as Mikel Merino scored, bro, I just felt like there was a bit of hope. I mean, to be fair, I think one game changer that happened was when Eddie Howe kind of took the striker and Anthony Gordon off. And I felt like, you know what, that could be... I felt a little bit of hope there. And then we got the job done. And I felt like it's one of those things where is it statement victory? I felt like it's a very straight statement victory. Despite how much I can criticize the team, I felt like it's a statement victory. Going to St. James Park is not easy. And I take that win. I don't care how we play in that game. I will take 3 points any day of the week, to be honest. And you know what? I'm going to give a shout out as well. And I'll give a shout out to Mikel Arteta anyway, because the players that weren't performing, he take them off early. Like, for example, I think in the Man City game, someone got taken off at half time. I mean, this time, I think Mascara, he had a stinker. I can't lie. He had a stinker in the first half. So immediately Arteta brought on Saliba in the second half to kind of show that defense as well. And as well as I think the left-hand side looked a bit shaky as well. I think Trossard didn't have a good game. Calafiori didn't really have that good game. Got a bit out of position sometimes. But at the end of the day, I don't care about the performance in this particular game when it comes to the big six sides. I just want the results. That's all I want.
Yeah, I get that. Look, I stand on what I've said. The reason that I criticised Arsenal in the last game, more so Mikel Arteta, I thought he could have been a slightly braver with starting Eze, but I haven't watched any of your games and thought, oh God, this is awful. I've just felt there was moments where it didn't quite work. I didn't think the performances were that bad. I thought you could have one or two different players on at the right times could have changed the game. Against Liverpool away, if the Ezes of the world come on, I think 10, 15 minutes earlier as an example, I think you might have grabbed the goal in that game. But I got the approach that's similar to if Eze starts against City, they probably still take the lead, but they weren't as deep in the first half, and Eze could have exploited those spaces. He's actually been really unlucky to not score a goal in the Premier League so far for you guys.
And also,
I think those performances, but those previous performances are the reason why you were able to do this today, because it's had momentum builds. I think that I know everyone just wants to win games, but I think by and large, without consistency of performances, you're never going to win enough of these games, if we're being honest.
I would also want to say with Saka, right? I don't think he's fit, to be honest. I don't know if he should have started that game, to be honest, because I don't think after that injury, I feel like after his thigh injury, I think a few games he was playing in adrenaline. And then after that, I mean, a few games he got another injury again against Leeds, but I don't feel like he's the same player.
Yeah, but don't you think that from if you look at that lineup, it sends a message, not just to Newcastle, but to Arsenal fans that we're going for it? Like, don't you feel a lot better having a front line of Saka, Gyökeres, and Trossard rather than like Martinelli, Trossard, and Gyökeres?
I would say the problem is the one criticism I can have in this team was that they did not know how to attack that game. In this game, I don't think they knew how to attack, or I felt like the chemistry was a little bit off.
Yeah, because they're learning.
I can guarantee say that. With Gyökeres, with Saka and Trossard, I don't think they attacked that well, to be honest, in the game.
See, I'd like to give credit to Newcastle. I thought Newcastle defended very well. They've been the best defense in the league thus far.
Very good defensively, and I think sometimes I think we all have a habit when it's our own teams. It's hard sometimes because we're all watching it with a lot of emotion. We all often miss what the other team do. But Newcastle defended the spaces very well. They allow very little. Even when you guys broke lines, somebody would cover. They got a lot of blocks in. I don't think you had. For me, you had Newcastle working very, very hard defensively to try and keep a clean sheet, and it obviously didn't.
I'm not saying it just this game though. I'm just saying it throughout the whole season so far. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think again, it's just a team who's learning to play with each other.
Where he only scored 3 goals in 6 games. I mean, I feel like he will go better throughout the season. So let the attack cook a little bit. I hear that. A little bit that we just need to work on the attack anyway.
I hear that. This year, there's an Arsenal fan here. The next 5 games can all be wins before Tottenham. Listen, I think I don't know if I said this on stream or to myself while I was walking my dog. That's where I do a lot of my prepping for shows when I'm out walking Rocco. And I don't know if a team this season is going to go on a 5, 6, 7, 8 game plus winning streak. I'm not sure if anyone is. There's so many good teams in the league. But if a team can do that, that may end up being the team that wins the league. And if you were to win your next, say, 5 games and then maybe beat Tottenham, I don't know what Liverpool are going to do in that time. They might match you. City might match you. But I think it's be really hard to win that volume of games in a row. We saw a lot of it last year, even with Liverpool winning the league. There wasn't sort of those, you know, I know you guys did it a couple of years ago when you didn't win the league. City seemed to do it every season when they were winning the league, where they sort of win 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 on the bounce. I'm not sure if anyone's going to do that this year.
Well, interestingly enough, Terry, if you look at the next 5 games, these are the games where Arsenal literally cost them the league in previous seasons. We got West Ham at home, right? We've actually lost to them the last 2 years at home. We got Fulham away. We've struggled Fulham away. We got Crystal Palace at home. That's tough. You saw Crystal Palace at Liverpool. Yep. We got Brighton at home, and the other one is Burnley. So it's not. They're not 5 givens. Those are tough ones.
Right. There's barely a given now in the Premier League. Man United, probably. That's it. Like there's barely a given in the league, so it's going to be very, very hard. What on earth is he on about? How is Arsenal, Bournemouth, Newcastle, Everton, Palace the 12th hardest start for Liverpool? All tough opponents as opposed
the 12th hardest start of all the teams in the league. If you put all their schedules together, it's the 12th. It's in terms of the difficulty of the quality of opponents.
Is that from Opta? Is that Opta's breakdown?
That's from Anton doing a lot of statistics.
Oh, you did that yourself. Oh yeah. We got to call in VAR on that one. I think we've got to call in VAR.
No, don't bring VAR.
If you want to review all this, it'll take us 3 hours. Honestly, but I can at the end of the 3 hours.
Yeah, I ain't got 3 hours, bruv. I want to watch.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Mission Impossible. We're just gonna have to believe you.
I think screen share my spreadsheet. Yeah.
We could do it later. I have been struggling to sleep recently, and I think it could send me off. So what I do first of all is I take all my clothes off and put on my anorak. Number 1. Then I'm joking, bro.
Don't forget the goggles.
Ignore the noise and back your team. We get enough stick as it is from rivals, media, etc. They don't like us. Embrace it. Get behind the boys. Come on, you gooners, is what Jamal says here. Who's the best team in the Northeast? Right now, it's Sunderland.
Sunderland.
I will say this just from
5 points behind Sunderland.
Just as an outsider, I would love Sunderland to finish ahead of you this season. There'd be something so beautiful.
No, don't say that, Terry. Stop.
With all your money and all their problems, you know what I mean? It would be hilarious if within a year of being back in the Premier, they're better than you. Can you imagine?
No, don't speak this into existence. Don't speak this into existence. No.
I'm not sounding silly for wanting something. I'm not saying it will happen. You know what I mean?
When it's settled in the 10-way derby,
I can't. When is that? When is the first time where derby?
December.
The 13th of December.
Oh, right near my birthday, that'd be a great game.
So I've got it penciled in that in my diary.
Again, we have salty rival fans who are celebrate watching us when they were the same ones who said the league is over if we lost. Double standards. Agreed.
That's why I push back.
Yeah, no one's being salty. I don't know how you can I'm just looking at the analysis that was made. I'm actually for Arsenal in terms of being able to celebrate and go forward. And just remember that when you guys do face challenges, you're the first ones to do fire drill settings in your own stadiums and leave your team behind. Whereas I'm the one that's standing there and saying, stay there and watch your team. That's what you do.
Well, that's who I was basically aiming. Why is there?
Someone's got the stream on. Who's got the stream playing?
Hello.
Right.
I think
it might be. Yeah, it's coming from you.
It's coming from you, Phil.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. Let me jump back to these super chats anyway, because I'm running out of time here. Where is Palace and Bournemouth in the table? Top, right at the top. Newcastle fans giving advice like they've won the Premier League last season.
How about cup holders?
There is no reason to rate Kanate, Kirkes, Bradley, or Frimpong out of position in a back four for the remainder of the season over Arsenal's defense. I don't think anybody objectively would say Liverpool have a better defense than Arsenal. This brother is not listening. Thank you, Stephen. Mo, we are champions, hence why we can. But I think what you're ignoring in that conversation with what Mo was saying is that people have come on here and said to Arsenal fans, this opening 6 games is going to kill your season. I'm not saying Phil said that. So this isn't a challenge towards Phil. It's just a challenge towards the statement. If you're someone that said these opening 6 games would kill Arsenal's season, you cannot reject them now saying winning a lot of those games has given us a base to try and win the league from, because that fits straight into your logic. Stop telling fans how to behave. If that's his prerogative, fine. There are other fans who keep it chill as well. So tiring is what Moses did.
Yeah, I asked you to do the same thing.
There we go. I'm not sure why we're getting an echo. Have you got the stream open on your lap? Have you opened the stream?
Do you have headphones, Phil?
Yeah, headphones would be better. Honestly, Trossard link up with Eze actually created a lot of free-flowing attacking football, so I won't complain about him staying over Martinelli. Yeah, I think that's very, very fair. Why wasn't Bruno G's handball given as a pen, clear handball? I will say I only saw one replay, and that was very quick, and they moved on from it. So I'd like to see it again from a different angle, but it looked to me like his hand was in here and he was turning. I don't think he moved his arm out or anything like that. So I think that would have been a harsh one to give as well. Look, I also want to thank on this show today Yaya Guna for gifting out 5 memberships and Travanelli for gifting out 10 memberships to you lucky audience members. So hopefully you guys have all said a big thank you as well. Put Liverpool's fixtures alongside the Champions League run versus Arsenal's is what Omar says here. Oh, I haven't seen any of that sort of stuff. I haven't seen that. Typical Eagle fans.
Why? Because we're the Super Bowl champions, so I know what it's like to win a title. I'm just gonna say.
Look, boys, thank you all for coming on. I really appreciate it. I know these shows are quite long on a Sunday. We're back tomorrow morning with Straight Facts, 10:45-ish. Myself, George, and Jamie all took L's this weekend, so that'll be a fun fucking show, won't it? Listen, I want to say a big thank you to all of our viewers, all of our super chatters, and everyone who's tuned in. Just under 85,000 people tuned in over the last hour and 40 minutes at various times. So a big thank you to all of you that tuned into the show. Hit the like button before you leave. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And we'll see you all again very, very soon. Thank you.